Joe Burrow sounds an optimistic tone about his right calf, and Joseph Asai says the defense is really hungry. Mike Petraglia outside Paycor Stadium. Here on Wednesday, the Bengals were back at it, going through a walkthrough, not a full practice, as Zach Taylor is trying to temper the team and really get them rested up for Sunday afternoon's physical battle with a team that everybody inside Paycor Stadium is calling another AFC North team. That would be the Tennessee Titans. Of course, they play in the AFC South, but the physical, strong, straightforward style of head coach Mike Vrabel, both on the offensive side of the ball with Derrick Henry and on the defensive side of the ball with Jeffrey Simmons, reminds every Bengal inside the building behind me of an AFC North team, just like Baltimore, just like Pittsburgh, just like Cleveland. So the Bengals are very familiar with the team that they will be playing on Sunday, not just because of the style of play, but of course they have beaten them the last 3 times they've played them. Of course, they beat them in 2020, and they beat them again in 2021 in the AFC divisional round playoff. Who can forget that? And of course, they beat them last year 20-16 in the regular season. The last 2 times have been in Tennessee. That's where the game will be at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon as well. The Bengals trying to get back to 500 at 2-2 on the season. As in terms of the walkthrough, it was down the street at the indoor structure. Again, a very light workout for the Bengals here on Wednesday. They'll be back to a full practice on Thursday and do their typical Friday practice on Friday, a couple of days before the game. How about Joe Burrow? Well, Joe Burrow gave an indication here on Wednesday afternoon that he is making good progress in terms of the treatment of his right calf. Was he sore after the Monday night game? Absolutely. But that is normal, to be sore, to be taking hits from Aaron Donald and company the way he did on Monday night. But the offensive line, according to Burrow, kept him very clean, played very, very well on Monday night against the aforementioned 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald, and others as well along that Rams defensive front. And Burrow said that he feels very good, no setbacks, just like he said after the game on Monday night. And the fact that there were no setbacks means that Burrow is making progress in treating his calf and making sure that as the season goes along, eventually he'll be back to full strength. Nobody knows at this point when exactly that will be, but he is headed in the right direction, and that is the most encouraging sign of all coming from Joe Burrow here on Wednesday afternoon. In terms of other Joe Burrow news, yes, he addressed the comments made by one Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show. He said that Aaron Rodgers offered him some advice because he's been through several calf injuries throughout his career, and it certainly would be wise to listen to somebody like an Aaron Rodgers in that particular case. When asked what were the details of the conversation, Joe Burrow said he'll keep those between himself and Aaron Rodgers. On the defensive side of the ball, everybody knows what an impact playing with the lead can be. And certainly when the Bengals played with the lead on Monday night, they really pinned their ears back and went after the quarterback, Matthew Stafford. They eventually sacked him 6 times on Monday night, 2 of those belonging to Trey Hendrickson. Joseph Asai said, we need to eat. If we eat and we're a hungry group like we are, that is going to be a key to a Super Bowl run. We need to get the defense activated, and we're a hungry group. So if you keep feeding us, meaning opportunities to get to the quarterback, it is really going to motivate the Bengals defense and really be a key part of being aggressive on D. And that's really been the style of Lou Anarumo for the last 3 seasons when the Bengals defense has really risen to prominence. Lou Anarumo spoke here on Wednesday afternoon, and he said, overall, the defense played much better on Monday night. The tackling was better. There were a few missed assignments in the secondary, some safety blown coverages that need to be worked on, need to be cleaned up. He acknowledged that. But overall, Nick Scott and Dax Hill coming along very well. And Dax Hill, of course, was one of those who was really activated on Monday night, played a terrific game on the ball, getting to the quarterback, knocking the ball out of a couple of receivers' hands and bringing a couple of tight ends to the ground on Monday night. And that was something that really stood out defensively to Lou Anarumo. We'll be back here on Thursday as the Bengals get back to full practice outside Paycor Stadium on the Kettering Health practice fields. Again, the game is Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Tennessee Titans as the Bengals look to get back to 500. Be sure to follow all of my coverage on Twitter X. That would be @Trags, TRAGS. Also, be sure to follow me online, clnsmedia.com. And as always, click and subscribe to my YouTube page, youtube.com/@JungleRoarPod. Outside Paycor Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.